Hey everybody, Jeff Dunham here. So we're doing a live video here on YouTube. Last week we had so much positive response to the one with Miss Penny's Pontiac that we decided to do something somewhat similar, right Matt?
Yep.
But a lot more heart and history to this one, right? You notice the title, it's Jeff Dunham, or the car he couldn't have. Is that what we titled it?
That's what we titled it.
All right, and that's what it is. This video is all about the car I couldn't have and always wanted. Now, those of you who've seen some of our videos know that I have a very eclectic collection of vehicles. Wouldn't you call it that, Matt?
I'd say eclectic is a perfect word, yes.
Okay. There are some fabulous, amazing, great cars, and there are some fabulous, amazing, horrible cars. I think that's a good way to describe it, right?
I don't know that I would call anything that you own horrible.
Horrible?
Yeah.
Okay, some people would say, why the hell do you own that?
I would agree with that.
Right, okay. We're building a building right now to house them, and we're trying to figure out how to divide them up. And one of the sections that we think we might have is, why the hell do you have this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the car I couldn't have. This is a little bit of the history of where my car obsession came from. Now, you see in the background here, I mean, how do you beat a couple of these cars? We've got everybody represented with these three cars. We've got Ford, Chrysler, and yeah. So I was going to say, I had a dramatic pause there, Matt. I was going to say, because look at this thing. You don't get much cooler than this. The '63 Split-Window Corvette. I mean, this to me is a piece of artwork. Am I right, Matt?
It is.
The lines on this thing are just absolutely gorgeous, and it's all numbers matching, original color. They redid the paint, but that was about it. But the split window, you want to come showing this back here? This is what makes this thing rare, because when they came out with this thing, a lot of guys hated the split window because you couldn't see out the rearview mirror very well. So they would get these cars and then fill it in, or cut it out and make it all glass. So to find a split window that's untouched, unmolested is pretty special. So that's a great car. Love this thing. Beautiful stick, 4-speed, great. Over here, I mean, come on, how do you beat the Ford GT? And this is a GTX1, even more rare, because Matt, we haven't figured out how to say this Italian name. The Giannotti group, with the blessing from Ford, made the GTX1. And what makes it the GTX1 mainly is that they cut the roof off. And on a regular Ford GT, it's all one giant door here to get in and out of, and you bonk your head. But this one has, it's basically the convertible. You know what we've never done, Matt? We ought to do a video sometime where we try and assemble the top that came for this thing.
That might take an hour.
Yeah, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. I've never tried to put it together. But again, another beautiful vehicle. I can't wait to drive one of the new Ford GTs, but oh my gosh, this thing is fantastic. And we put a Whipple on it. So it's 800 horsepower at the flywheel. That's pretty great. Yeah, the Whipple. And we went even farther than the Giannotti group because they had a plexiglass window here, but the Whipple wouldn't fit under the plexiglass window, and so the guys that I hired to do this cut an actual glass window. What a great car. Oh my gosh, what a vehicle. But let's move on. This isn't why we're here. We're here because I want to show you the car that I couldn't have, but it goes back many years. Again, one of the current vehicles, my Chrysler. Not current anymore though. 20 days from now, somewhere like that, in a couple of weeks, the plant for the Vipers is shutting down for good. This is one of the very last Vipers that came off the assembly line. It's a one-of-one where they custom built it for me, as their program was at the end there. And it's the Acr Viper. It doesn't get much more badass than this thing as well. Talk about a fun car to drive. Just in another beautiful piece of artwork. All three of these, three of my favorite cars in the collection.
Before you do that, you want to talk about the color on this car first?
Oh, the color, yeah. So that was what was great about the one-of-one program with Dodge, is that you could pick whatever color you wanted for the car. And I wanted purple, because purple's my favorite color, always has been. So why not a purple Viper? I'd never seen a purple Viper before. So they send you give them an idea of what color you want, and you start going through the swatches. And how many different purples do we have, Matt? Probably 4 or 5 different purples that they sent us from the book. And I could not decide. But every time we come back, Matt, we'd come back and go, that one. But I think your eyes are like your taste buds that eventually become saturated and you don't know what you're looking at anymore. Then you have to put it away and come back. And every time we'd come back to that color. So I'm so happy. This is not Inviolate or Plum Crazy, as was on the Pontiac and the Dodge side. But this is, I don't know what the name of this is. It's a number. right? So it's no other purple that Chrysler has ever done on a car before, and I love this purple. So anyway, great. Then we do have the 1970 Cuda, another numbers matching, all original vehicle. You know, you gotta love this thing. This was the wedding car I bought when Audrey and I got married. This is what we drove away in. It's a convertible. It's all white interior. Just a gorgeous vehicle. You don't get any better than that muscle car from the 70s. Well, actually, you do get a little better, and that's coming soon. That Superbird is almost done, right, Matt?
Oh yeah.
Went and saw it the other day. Julius is doing an amazing job. That'll be super cool, great fun. But again, just another example, beautiful example from the 70s of muscle. Now you go back a little further. And again, we're getting to the car that I couldn't have and wanted my entire life. Let's go back a few more years to the Volkswagen. And the Volkswagen was an amazing platform, obviously a very successful vehicle, the Bug, for many, many years. This is a 1948 split-window Bug, and yes, it is a 1948. People will argue and say it's not a 48 because 48s were not imported. Correct, they were not imported in the United States due to the war and all that stuff. This one were not sold here. This one was imported many years later, but another, show them the split window back there, Matt. That's the unusual part about that, is, yeah. So that's the split window. When I take this to a car show, people go absolutely bananas because they know what they're looking at. This is a rare, talk about a hen's tooth or a white whale. This is it. One of my favorite things right here is the, when you put on the brakes, this thing, the flag waves back and forth like this, so you see it. You can't see it from there, but there's a light and a reflector back here. What else? All right. So the Volkswagen platform. Something happened in the 70s where guys with a lot of ingenuity and, frankly, big dreamers thought, you know what? I can make a car out of that Volkswagen platform. They were plentiful, they were cheap, they were reliable, and they said, let's make our own car. And a lot of guys started doing that. Well, I was 14 years old, I was in junior high, and I was a big fan of Popular Mechanics magazine. I was going through Popular Mechanics magazine and I came to an ad in the magazine, and this was the ad right here. I blew it up out of that magazine. And this right here, to 14-year-old Jeff, was really exciting. It was the Bradley GT. And the Bradley GT, I mean, look at that. To a 14-year-old kid who doesn't know much about cars, all I knew were Hot Wheels. But this, to me, this ad was fantastic. Look at the fountains in the background, the whole thing. But you could send off, right here, for $7, you could get the assembly manual. And this was a kit car. And at 14-year-old me, I thought, I can do this. I can get this vehicle. And I could build this car at age 14. I didn't have many tools. My dad was not great with tools himself. But I thought I could do this. I even wrote to the company and I said, would you please make, they had local reps in every area of the country. And I said, I will be your local rep in Dallas, Texas. I will build this thing. I will help you sell them. I'll let people come to the house. I was 14. I was speaking for my parents. I'll let people come to the house, look at it. And I said, the only problem is I don't have the money. Mom and Dad weren't going to pay for a stinking kit car for me at age 14 or at any age. So I wrote them a letter and I said, will you please just send me one of these for free? I'll build it for nothing and I'll be your representative. I don't need any commissions, anything. I got a very nice letter back from the Bradley company, from Gary Bradley, the president, saying, well, thank you for your interest, but no, we're not going to send you a free car. So I was heartbroken. So all those years went by. I never got my Bradley GT, and I loved this brown, this heavy fleck. It was just magical to me. But you know what? As I've told my daughters, as I'm going to tell my sons, if you work really hard, nose to the grindstone, keep dreaming, sometimes dreams actually do come true. And there it is, the Bradley GT, the brown one. I did not build this one. There's no kits left. But this one, you may have seen somebody else use this. Leno used this exact car in one of his episodes a couple weeks ago. And a lot of people were not happy with what they saw. Jay likes to make fun of me for some of my interests. But I love this thing because this guy, apparently, Gary Bradley, had a dream to build this. But what's funny about this is it being a kit. This isn't just some fly-by-night guy that came up with this thing. They sold about 6,000 kits in 10 years. That's 600 kits a year, which comes to about, what is that, 50, I can't do, 50 kits a month, something like that. They're doing 1.7 cars a day. That's a lot of cars. But it wasn't Gary Bradley that came up with it. What's funny to me is when you paid your $7 or your $15, they raised the price later, to get your assembly manual. Here's one of the smaller assembly manuals. When you got it, you open it up and you get this letter from the president, the founder, the owner, Gary Bradley. Here he is right here. Look at that jacket. That's awesome. The crazy thing about this, as what was revealed later, is there is no Gary Bradley. This guy's fake. He worked for the company. I don't know what he was. He was head of marketing or something like this. The two guys that started the company, you got to help me with this, Matt. Don't tell me. The guy's name was Gary Cornier, David Cornier. Gary Cornier, and then David Bradley Fuller. Gary Cornier and David Bradley Fuller were the two guys that started the Bradley GT company. And they put their names together and came up with Gary Bradley and invented this guy. He wrote all the letters, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no such dude. I don't know why they did that. I guess they didn't want their face out there, whatever. But this looks like a calendar. It's not. It's the assembly manual. You'd get the kit. You could build this whole thing yourself. I wanted to do it. They wouldn't let me do it. And for years, I just dreamed of having this silly car. It's a Volkswagen, but it's in this body. I mean, look at this heavy metal flake. It screams 70s. It's about as cheap as you can possibly get, but somebody had a dream. Somebody put this design together and they sold really, really well. There were a lot of kit car companies that came and went and have come and gone. These guys stayed after it for 10 years. And I had so much fun with getting this thing that this was, to me, the ultimate, to find the brown one that was just like the one in the ad. But I had a couple of, I wanted to get one, and I didn't think there were many out there. And I've found a couple. So, Matt, why don't we show them one over here? This black one right here. You can see some of the different, I have 4 Bradley GTs. Don't laugh at me. I love these things, because when I bought one, we're working backwards again. This was the last one I got. This was the second of this was the whatever it was. Anyway, this one is beautiful. Some of the options, you could have the soft windows on it, the zipper windows. There's all kinds of different pieces of the package. But then, the very first one that I got, I thought, we have to turn this thing into the ultimate Bradley GT. So we got it, and Alan Palmer, one of the guys that's done a lot of work for me, they went after it. And some of my buddies said, well, are you a moron? Why are you pouring money into this thing? Why? Because I wanted to. Because this was a childhood dream. And so we turned this into, I think arguably, Matt, this is probably the finest Bradley GT in existence on the planet now. And I don't know if that's something that you should be proud of or ashamed of.
No, I mean, seriously, but no joke. Look at this. Look at the paint on this.
The paint is amazing. The other thing is these the doors on the headlights, and that's the other thing. People think Audrey and I, my wife and I, took the black one to a fine restaurant one night, and the valet guy, it has the Bradley emblem on it. Where's the Bradley emblem? The Bradley emblem on it. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. So the guy saw that. He was a young valet. He had no idea what he was looking at. He thought this was some British fancy sports car that we drove up in. I guess he didn't realize that noise of the engine was a Volkswagen motor, so he didn't know very much. But people are confused as to what this is. But this one over here, one of the clues that this might not be the fanciest sports car in the world. Okay, do you think the headlights have motors and they open up really slowly? No. Matt, I have the microphone, you have a microphone. Get a little closer, let them hear this. So it's all mechanical. Here's what the headlights sound like when they open up. Ready? It's just mechanical doors that plunk open like that, right? And the same thing when you close them up. Hold on. Engineering at its best. It doesn't get much funnier. The interior. We took off the doors on this thing, and you call them gull-wing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, gull-wing, but they're just pieces of plastic and plexiglass that are bent over. Again, this was a kit. You had to build it yourself. What the heck? Why not on the VW platform? Let me show you the one thing. I probably shouldn't show this because this is a little bit embarrassing. Matt, should we show him the other one?
Oh, absolutely, because it's part of the Bradley history.
The Bradley history. It's even more rare than the Bradley GT. It's the Bradley GT2. And the electric version of that car is pretty much what put Bradley out of business. But we have a Bradley GT2 right here. Want to show them that? There it is. So this is really, really rare. And we don't, you know, the Bradley GT design is fantastic. This is like, what the hell were they thinking? Because you look at this and it's like, what did you call it, Matt? It looks like a 280ZX had sex with a
Corvette.
we don't know, not a Corvette. It's not that good.
A Monza.
A Monza, yeah. Look at the windows. This is all Z right here. This is 280, 300, 280ZX right here. I mean, look at that shape, you know. But we can't figure out why the wheels. We got to get, they're too far in. We got to get.
Hold on. Let's go down here.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. That's bad. Let's look at something that's cool. Let's go back to these guys. Now, Matt, don't you think we should drive one of these things around today?
I think we would be remiss.
Yeah. Are we getting good comments?
Oh, yeah. People are talking about it. Actually, we got a lot of Kelmark GT, which was another kit car. A lot of people talking about that.
Yeah.
And
there were a lot of fantastic kit cars. And again, guys that had dreams, they had imaginations. They didn't work for the big three, but they knew they could design something that was great and fantastic, and they thought they'd take over the world. Another one that we have coming, Matt, is the Brubaker box. The Brubaker box, and we're working on that right now. If somebody wants to Google that, oh my gosh, those are rare and fantastic. We'll have that finished probably in, I don't know, a few months. But yeah, I think we should take the brown one out, Matt. That's the one we should take. That was the one that was my dream, and finally got it. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the most correct one. So let's show a couple things about this. The heavy flake, every one of them came in a heavy flake of whatever color, so this is all original. And this was built by, I don't even know if he's still alive. Hold on, I got the plaque over here. But he put a plaque on the door. What's his name? His name is Norman R. Ingold. Is that an R or an H? He has an, I don't know. But Norm built this, and apparently it was in his garage until he got too old that he couldn't get into it anymore, and he sold it. This is not the one that was on Barrett Jackson. This is not the one that on the GT forums everybody hates. Not the one. This is mine that everybody hates. No, not really. But this is the one that Leno drove, and no, it's not the one that was up for auction. All right.
Which, by the way, seemed like a nice car. I don't know why there's so
No, it seems like a great car. I think it's just how they tried to sell it on eBay, and it pissed everybody off. The asking price, I don't know what it was. But it's got a lot of bad juju going for it. But I don't it. Anyway, yeah, what else? The interior, you get the interior. This was just, you know, pleather. I don't know what else. What else?
Oh, yeah, you showed how the headlights on the other one open. I saw it from the outside.
Oh.
To show us the...
Yeah, but this is the Sundowner version. This was the upgraded package that had the better headlights because apparently, I guess a lot of people, they didn't shine very well coming out that way, but the Sundowner package showed them, they improved upon it a bit. So, oh, yeah.
Wow. When the brakes don't work.
Yeah, exactly. When you're zooming down the freeway at 48 miles an hour, you put those on, they'll slow you down. Those are much better headlights.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
But this one didn't make any noise when you opened the headlights.
I was very careful. I was more respectful.
Where's the,
so I don't know. Apparently Norm wanted to make sure he could turn on his headlights. Look, it's bigger than the parking brake. It's this thing right here. Like, oh, 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 there it is. I actually moved the car when I closed the headlights. But Norm went after this thing. Did you see this? He's got a wooden handle on the brake, on the handbrake, on the e-brake, and he's got a wooden ball on the headlight deal. I mean, Norm did it right, man. He carpeted this thing perfectly. Come on, Matt, we're boring. Oh, here's another thing. Another thing on the Sundowner package is this removable back windshield. So this thing comes out. The other ones are just glued in, except for that. That's a soft top.
But they've all got different rears. This one's got like a notch back. That one is a soft, and then
the big giant window. It's actually the same mold. That's just a bigger long window that went down to here.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Again, it's like, why in the world do I care about this stuff? I've got a $500,000 car sitting over there. I don't care. There's a joy to driving every type of vehicle. There's a joy to driving that Ford GT. There's a joy to driving that Dodge ACR Viper. But you know what? There's another kind of joy of driving a go-kart. And this is somewhere in between. And there's just fun.
You know what these remind me of? I mean, you talk about taking you back to being a kid. These remind me of the fiberglass cars that were on the carousel at Myrtle Beach.
Oh,
when I was a kid.
That's exactly right. And what are the ones called at the Disneyland? The
Autotopia.
Yeah, Autotopia. There's a little bit of that in this thing too, right?
Yeah.
A little bit of fiberglass, and I think back then they had the heavy flake as well. Looks like a boat.
Speaking of which.
Yes. You ready?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Anything else I can show them? No, I think it's all great. Okay, so Matt, it is outside 87 degrees right now. We do not have any air conditioning in this car. And you think it's a great idea to drive it with the doors closed.
Well, I think that we should drive the one with the doors, that's all.
Okay, and you can't drive it with the doors open because these things will break. So, okay.
So it might be a short drive.
Should we go to Starbucks?
Yeah, let's go get hot
Let's
coffee.
go through the drive. Let's go through the drive-through at Starbucks in this thing.
I like it.
That's a great idea. And then we'll go to the other warehouse where we have, should we tell them what we have?
No, it's going to be...
Okay, it's almost embarrassing what's over there. All right. Let's, Edgar, you promised me this thing will start, right? We were running it this morning. It's all good.
Somebody says 87 degrees isn't that hot, but they don't realize that this is a fishbowl.
It's a fishbowl. It's a freaking terrarium. Forget the fishbowl. Fishbowl is open. This is a greenhouse. This is like we're gonna be growing our. Did you brush your teeth this morning?
I did.
Okay. Well, you have other problems sometimes. So, oh my gosh. This is a bad idea. All right. Oh, and the other thing is, it's legal. There's no seatbelts because the platform is old enough that it didn't have seatbelts. So grandfathered in. I can't remember what year this is, but you go by the year of the platform of the Volkswagen itself. Let me see if I have it here. Hold it. I don't know what year this actually is. Anyway, but there's no seatbelts in here, so we have to be very, very careful, Matt. If something goes wrong, I got the manual here on how to build it, so we could look in there. Yeah. Okay, great. The wiring, this is everything, all the diagrams. It's all good.
It's actually amazing that you could buy a car, they would send you instructions, and in 6 months to 30 years, you could actually be on the road with it.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what I've done for fun for 25 years is build my own helicopters. So this is nothing to me. I've built 3 helicopters that I've flown around for hundreds of hours and never been killed. In fact, there's one that I'm in the middle of building right now that I haven't quite finished. It's over at the other warehouse. So I'm very familiar with kit things like this, and Rotorway and Bradley were becoming developed at the same time. I think Rotorway stole some marketing techniques from Bradley and vice versa, because a lot of their manuals from back then and their advertisements were very, very similar. So all right, let's go.
Let's do it.
All right.
And I'm gonna follow you out so we can see it rolling on the outside. I'll jump in when you get to the driveway.
All right. Is there a water around here or something? Hey, Edgar, could you get that green thing there? Audrey makes me some kind of drink every morning. I don't know what's in it. All right. Thank you, Edgar. One shot, ready? Oh, yeah. I can't remember what size is it. 1600? Is that 1600? Yeah. All right. Good. So it's got plenty of pickup. All right, Matt.
Here we go.
Come on, sweetheart. Let's go for a date. All right, now the doors, you got to be careful. You can't just yank down on them. It's the thing you get over the over center thing. You got to do this. And also, Matt, I know you're holding the camera, but you have to latch these things. Now, Leno made fun of the fact that there was, your head, his head was sticking out of it. Well, you just have to lean way down in the seat. It is ridiculous. There's not much room in here. I need a drink.
Yeah, we're still in the shade and I'm already hot.
Yeah, exactly. There is a fan, by the way. I'm going to put my drink right there. The battery's behind your seat. I hope it doesn't spill. That'd be kind of funny. We don't have a fire extinguisher either, do we? All right, let me latch your window for you, Matt. There you go. And your other one, I'm not comfortable doing this to you. Okay, here's your window. Here's the fan.
Oh,
yeah.
That's actually not bad.
Well, it's because we're inside. The air in the warehouse is cool. We don't have a fire extinguisher. I'm a little bit worried.
Oh, man.
Okay, hold on.
There's something in the back?
No.
Oh, yeah, we need to latch the, one of the latches on the back window.
I saw that. I chose to leave it. I think we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. If it rattles, we'll stop. It's 1 out of 4. Okay, there's that latch. And there's that latch. And this is just for locking it on the outside. All right. Let's see how Norm did.
It's tinted.
All right, so let's tell them where we're going. Then people can come see us if they happen to be around here. Where is it?
There's a Starbucks on the corner of Roscoe and Balboa, and
That's the one with the drive-through.
it is a drive-through. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go that way, so we don't have to make a left turn in this thing.
Yeah. The fewer the left turns, the better, right?
Yeah. Here we go. All right. Listen to that motor hum, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, it runs good.
Oh yeah, it's great. It really is. I mean, the car was well maintained. It is. This is just. It's literally like you're legally driving a go-kart. Should we go down to?
Yeah, might as well just go down to this big street, hang a right, and then
All right.
I think that's Van Owen.
No, it's Victory.
But it's a testament to the hardiness of the, like you said, the VW platform.
Oh yeah, and you know, to work on one, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. No disrespect to Edgar and the guys, but this is not one of the more difficult cars that they're working on for me.
I actually think that these windows are magnifying this one.
If we leave it parked in one spot, we could start a fire on the seat by the magnification. Yeah, you're right. Did you wear any sunblock, Matt? I'm worried about you.
I didn't. I think I'm gonna.
At 5 o'clock this morning, before I left the house, I actually put on sunblock when it was almost dark out. And you know, this thing truly is, talk about safety, there is none in this thing. You have to pretend that you're driving a motorcycle, because if you get hit in this thing, it's like good luck. So I drive these things really, really, really carefully, because you want to make sure people see it. Balboa, right?
Balboa, hang a right.
Yep. We're in 4th gear. We're doing 50 miles an hour.
This thing's really, actually pretty smooth.
Yep. We're going to make this stoplight. We're on 3, 2, 1. Yellow. We made it. I know, the thing is smooth. The drivetrain is fantastic. I mean, you're basically, you're driving a Volkswagen, but in a much cooler or nerdy costume, right?
Yeah, this is the cosplay of Volkswagens.
Oh no.
That's for the nerds.
Yep, all right. You know what's interesting to me is, I don't know why, again, I don't, to me, downshifting from 3rd to 2nd gear in every Volkswagen that I have, I'm going to do it right now, is almost a chore. All right, here we are. Let's take this corner. Come on, ready? Come on, here we go.
Holy crap. You know what?
What?
It was remarkably...
Well, I didn't hit it that hard.
Thank God, there's nothing to grab onto.
Well, and also I didn't want to slide into the vehicles at the stoplight either, which I've done before. I've slid, oh man, that red one, I've slid around corners. It is really fun. Wait, were you with me that day? We were driving those things? Okay, somebody else was driving one of the other ones, and I slid around a couple of corners, you know, when there was nobody else around. It's like driving go-karts.
So, do you think, does it feel like it drives like a bug, or does it have a different...
Oh, no, because the center of gravity is so low on this thing. We're sitting, come on, our butts are what, 10 inches off the ground, maybe? So the center of gravity on this thing is really, really, really low. So if you flip this thing over, you did something completely wrong. So no, it doesn't feel like a bug at all. The only reason that you know it's a bug is the sound of the motor. The wheelbase is so short, so you can go anywhere in this thing. I'm not watching people's reactions, by the way. And when guys are like, you know, my age, like in their 50s or a little bit older, they know what this, most guys who know anything about cars recognize this thing.
I'm trying to keep up with the comments. It's just that...
Yeah, read a couple names. People love that.
The glare in here is so bright I can barely see the screen.
Well, you know, in the ads, which I thought was interesting, none of the glass was tinted. I think they did that so you could see in the ads, you could see inside the car. But of course, a lot of guys, one of the other ones I have has tinted. These are tinted, and so it's much a much nicer ride. Not Sherman, we're going all the way to Roscoe. Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
And again, you know what? Guess which mirror? Well, that gives it away. But guess what I'm watching most of the time?
The temperature?
No, my rear view mirror.
Oh yeah.
You do not want to be rear-ended in this thing. All right, so we're doing 50 miles an hour in third gear and 3,000 RPMs. Red line is 4,500. Not bad, right?
No.
So here we go into fourth gear. We're at 50 and we're at 2,000 RPMs. That's great. That's a decent amount of power.
And do you think that all the gauges work in this car?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering because these are, since it's a bug, it's air cooled and it's.
Oh, you just ruined one of my questions. I was going to be a trivia question. I was going to be like, what do you think the average water temperature is on a Volkswagen?
Well, I don't even know that, and I know that it's air cooled.
Right. That's the joke. All right, it's smelling a little hot.
Uh-oh.
You know, it is 87 degrees out, so on the road it's got to be another 2 or 3 degrees hotter. So we're looking at 90 degrees in a Volkswagen that's air cooled on hot asphalt.
Yeah, pretty warm. How about are you getting damp?
Oh no, I'm not sweating yet. I'm just saying that's a hot engine right now. We probably don't want to tax this thing out with too high RPMs. We got somebody coming out. Here we go. Yeah, the motor's smelling a little hot to me. It's all right. All right, what other comments?
I'm trying to see. You guys will be cooking, is what I...
Yeah. By the way, another plug here. My Netflix special comes out on September the 12th. It's available for download on September 12th. I'm very excited about it. It's the one we shot in Ireland, and it's called Relative Disaster. It's about a lot of the theme of it is family and my new kids and older girls and marriage with Audrey and also some stupid goofy fun with Ahmed and a new character. There's a new character that no one's ever seen unless you've been to my show in the last 6 months. There you go. By the way, he did a good job with the. I don't have a Volkswagen that shifts any nicer than this, so he did some good work on the transmission there.
Yeah, and if you listen, you would expect this thing to be clankety and rattly. It's really.
Oh no, there's no. The only rattles you're getting are from the mechanism, the latches here on the doors. But it's all fiberglass, Matt. There's no, unlike a bug that was all metal.
Yeah, but even still, all these pieces and parts that people relied upon to assemble in their garages, you would think that these things would make a lot of...
Oh, you know what I heard? If anybody knew Norm, the name, I forgot what his last name was. Ingle. If anybody knew Norm, write us their comments right there, or knew of him. If he's still around, I would love to talk to Norm, because I think, I can't remember, but I think he was an engineer of some sorts, and that's why this thing is so beautifully built. It's, I mean, he did a few extra things that were not in the manual. Just some fit and finish, like this handle on the e-brake. Really great job. Very meticulous work. All right. So, oh no, I have to open this thing. They're going to talk to me, and okay, hang on. I think they're here.
Somebody said a VW engine is very reliable unless it gets too hot.
Of course. That was my point. All right, Matt, what you want?
Definitely something with ice in it.
Yeah.
Just iced coffee with coconut milk.
What size?
Let's go with a large.
It's not large. It's a grande.
I don't speak Italian.
He doesn't speak Italian. You make me so angry. He won't use the words you're supposed to word at Starbucks. Hi, how are you? What?
How are you? What can I get started for you?
Just grande iced coffee. Anything in it?
Perfect. Coconut milk and 3 pumps of the...
Grande iced coffee with coconut milk and 3 pumps of the sweetener.
All right.
And I will have also a